for a considerable length of time. Maria Tortora has offered her ready tomatoes and new cucumbers to steadfast clients at her market slow down in Rome. Little did she understand that the youngster who used to line up holding the hand of her granddad would now be on course to be Italy's next top state leader. He was a brilliant individual, she recalls, and in affection with his granddaughter. With that young lady, Giorgia Meloni, hosting drove her get-together to initially put in the political race. Anna Maria expands proudly. I brought her up on my beans. She ate well, and she grew up well. The market is in Garbatella, a common southern neighborhood of Rome and customarily a stronghold of the left. It's a muddled beginning for a lawmaker presently in shaft position to turn into Italy's most memorable extreme right state leader since Benito Mussolini. When the consequences of Italy's snap political race are affirmed, the nation's leader, Sergio Mattarella, will counsel party pioneers to figure out who can lead a steady government. Ms. Meloni, as the leader, will contend she has first refusal. She's not delegate of this area, which is generally red, says Marta. A customer pushing her pram past the vegetable slows down. Her old mother, Luciana, lets me know she's frightened of the possibility. I'm significantly against fundamentalist, she adds. On the off chance that she gets in, it will be a terrible period. The fundamentalist mark is something that Giorgia Meloni energetically dismisses. Talking in English, Spanish and French in a new video, she demanded it had dispatched the philosophy to history. In any case, history is a contributor to the issue in a country which had no likeness Germany's denazification. After the conflict, permitting fundamentalist gatherings to change. Established in 2012, Siblings of Italy has its political roots in the Italian social development (MSI), which rose like a phoenix after Mussolini's dictatorship. The party keeps up with the logo of post-battle extreme right gatherings. The tricolor fire, frequently saw as the fire consuming on Mussolini's burial place. Giorgia Meloni would rather not drop the image since it's the character she can't escape from. It's her childhood, says Gianluca Passarelli, a teacher of political theory at Rome's Sapienza College. Her party isn't extremist, he makes sense of. Despotism means to get power and annihilate the framework. She will not do that, and she proved unable. Be that as it may, there are wings in the party connected to the neo-fundamentalist development. She has consistently played in some in the middle between. Her childhood is for sure secured on the extreme right, and among humble starting points. Key to her picture of a lady of individuals, brought into the world in Rome. She was only a year old when her dad, Francesco, left the family and moved to the Canary Islands. Francesco was left-wing. Her mom Anna was on the right, provoking hypothesis that her political way was roused to a limited extent by a longing to look for retribution on her missing dad. The family moved to Garbatella, near her grandparents. There, matured 15, she joined Youth Front, the adolescent wing of the neo-extremist MSI, later turning into the leader of the understudy part of the development's replacement. Public collusion. Marco Marsilio was holding a gathering in the MSI office in Garbatella when Giorgia Meloni thumped on its entryway in 1992. A decade her senior, he turned into a dear companion and political partner and is today leader of the Abruzzo locale. Here was this slim young lady, yet in every case not set in stone, he says. You'd see her in light of the fact that at understudy gatherings, she would stop anyone snatching the mouthpiece off her. Throughout the long term, they shared family occasions, discussions, and parties, and he has watched her fill in confidence. She had her frailties in those days, Mr. Marsilio says. Yet perhaps that was a strength since it made her read a dossier more, as opposed to less, prior to handling an issue. In 2008, matured 31, Giorgia Meloni turned into Italy's most youthful at any point serve, delegated to the Young and Game portfolio by Silvio Berlusconi. In the wake of shaping her own party in 2012, she won only 4% of votes in the last political decision in 2018. Presently, as the main significant party to have avoided Mario Draghi's Public Solidarity Alliance government, Siblings of Italy have won around 26% of the vote. And her traditional collusion with Silvio Berlusconi and the extreme right association party of the previous inside clergyman Matteo Salvini is set for a parliamentary larger part. However, even as she has tried to console Italy's Western partners by, for instance, firmly supporting the favorable to Ukraine line of the Draghi government, her firm stance moderate social arrangements are stressing quite a large number. Indeed to the regular family. No to LGBT halls. She roared at a new convention of Spain's extreme right Vox party. She has required a maritime bar of Libya to stop traveler boats. Meloni isn't a threat to a majority rules government, however a threat to the European Association, says Professor Passarelli, who places her in similar form as patriot pioneers in Hungary and France. She's on a similar side as Marine Le Pen or Viktor Orban. What's more, she needs a Europe of countries. So everybody is fundamentally alone. Italy could turn into the deception of Putin to sabotage fortitude. So she would empower him to keep debilitating Europe. Offering to turn into Italy's very first lady state leader, she has declared her female character. However, Professor Passarelli accepts, in a macho, political way, the strength of the Italian family is the mama. She's the macho figure who controls the kitchen. Meloni utilizes that sagaciously in light of the fact that it goes straightforwardly to the center of our framework. For her partners, she would address the extremist political shift that Italy needs, given its long financial stagnation and a general public seen as a gerontocracy. I feel perfect. Similar to a dad driving his little girl to the special stepped area, says Marco Marsilio. We could never have established the party except if we thought she had the potential for this. What does he intend to tell her once the Prosecco stops at her party HQ have popped? Pull out all the stops. Quote, he replies, we as a whole needed this to such an extent. Presently bite the bullet.